Hello and welcome to Idea TV News Update. I am Cynthia Bassey. We begin with the headlines. High-level executive dialogue seeks stronger collaboration in Nigeria's power sector. Southwest TESCOM chairman proposed regional forum to improve education. And court to rule on husband consent for passport renewal. Ethiopian Airlines orders 9 new BOEING Dreamliners, and Ghana's poverty rate falls to 21.9% in third quarter 2025. Away from Africa, women filmed secretly with smart glasses and harassed after videos go viral. And in health, IBADAN Hospital CEO urges government to invest in primary healthcare and ambulance services. In business, Nigeria must stop importing what it can produce, says Minister of State for Industry. And in sports, NOGIG 2026 football finals set for February in Abuja. And now the news in full. A high-level invitation-only executive dialogue has been convened in Lagos to strengthen collaboration across Nigeria's power sector under the new Electricity Act 2023. The closed-door meeting brings together federal and state energy leaders, regulators, distribution companies, and institutional investors to address regulatory overlap, investment risk affecting power distribution. NOGA Power Australia hosts the event as part of the Akinwumi and Busari LP Let There Be Light series. Key speakers include the Honorable Minister of Power, Chief Bayo Adelabu, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Chief Wale Edun, and the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Mrs. Olu Veherjen. The dialogue is designed as a strategic networking session with 2 executive panels focusing on regulatory coexistence and de-risking power infrastructure investment. The dialogue is set for Tuesday, 27th of January this year at 9 a.m. in Lagos. Organizers say the meeting will also showcase innovative distribution solutions being deployed at the subnational level to strengthen energy security and investor confidence across Nigeria. The chairman of the Teaching Service Commissions in Nigeria's 6 southwest states have proposed the formation of a regional forum to strengthen the teaching profession and improve education quality across the zone. Mr. Temitope Mustafa Adeyemi, chairman of the Osun State TESCOM, said the proposed body will bring together all 6 chairmen to collaborate on teaching development, capacity building, and the sharing of resources. He added that the forum is expected to foster healthy competition among the states and that discussions on how it will operate are nearing completion to launch the initiative soon. In another news, the Federal High Court in Ibadan has adjourned until February the 24th this year a legal challenge against the Nigerian Immigration Services policy requiring married women to obtain their husband's consent before renewing their passports. The case also challenges the rule that children under 18 must secure their father's approval for passport renewal. The applicant, Mrs. Chibuzo Oguaba, through her husband and legal counsel, argues that the policy violates Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution, which prohibits discrimination based on sex and other grounds. She says she was denied passport renewal for herself and her children because she could not provide her husband's consent despite presenting all other required documents. The court has ordered that fresh hearing notices be served on the respondents, including the Nigerian Immigration Service and the Attorney General of the Federation, before the matter continues. The ruling, if in favor of the applicant, could set a precedent against gender-based restrictions in access to essential government services. And now, Ethiopian Airlines, Africa's largest carrier, has placed an order for 9 new Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners as it expands its long-haul fleet. The airline says the additional aircraft will support growing demand for international travel and help broaden its route network, which currently serves 145 destinations worldwide. The deal follows Ethiopian Airlines' recent purchase of 11 more Boeing 737 MAX jets, further boosting its fleet capacity. The airline's expansion comes as long-haul travel demand continues to rise across the continent and beyond. Boeing 737 MAX has previously faced safety concerns after two fatal crashes in 2018 and 2019, leading to a global grounding and major legal settlement. Boeing has since reached compensation agreements with most affected parties. Ghana's poverty rate has dropped to 21.9% in the third quarter of 2025, down from 24.9% in the final quarter of 2024. The Ghana Statistical Service has reported. The decline means that more than 360,000 people moved out of multidimensional poverty between the second and third quarters of 2025, with 7.2 million people now living in multidimensional poverty compared with 8.1 million in the same quarter of 2024. The data shows poverty is still higher in rural areas at 31.9% compared with 14.2% in urban areas. The northeast and savannah regions remain the most affected with rates above 50%, while Greater Accra and the western region remains below 20%. The report identifies health and living conditions, including health insurance coverage, nutrition, sanitation, and overcrowding as the main drivers of poverty. The government's ongoing poverty reduction strategy and cash transfer program continue to support the poorest households. We'll now take a quick break. The news continues when we are back.
AI augmented development. AI is now revolutionizing software development by automating code generation, testing, and debugging. Tools like GitHub Copilot suggest code snippets in real time, significantly speeding up the development process. However, developers need to remain cautious, as over-reliance on AI tools could introduce security vulnerabilities. As companies push for faster software delivery, AI-augmented development is becoming essential for maintaining competitiveness.
Good to have you back. If you're just joining, this is Idea TV News Update. Now, the rest of the news. Away from Africa, a growing number of women in the UK and beyond are being secretly filmed in public by men wearing smart glasses, with the footage later posted online as dating advice. Two women, Dilara and Kim, say they were filmed without consent and then faced weeks of harassment after the videos went viral on TikTok and Instagram. The videos, which show men approaching women and recording the interaction, have attracted millions of views. In one case, the woman's phone number was visible, leading to a flood of messages and calls. Another woman was filmed at a beach and later received thousands of unwanted messages, including sexual comments. Experts say the current UK law does not specifically ban filming people in public, and social media platforms often do not remove the content unless it violates harassment rules. Campaigners are calling for stronger safeguards from both tech firms and lawmakers to protect women from covert filming and online exploitation. In health news now, a leading medical practitioner in Ibadan has called on the federal government to increase investment in primary health care facilities nationwide. Dr. Olusegun Ajisefini, Chief Executive Officer of Nixa Hospital, raised the alarm over the lack of properly equipped medical transportation, saying accident victims are often moved in commercial buses and motorcycles instead of ambulances. Speaking at an annual gathering of medical consultants, bed attendants, and healthcare partners in Apata, Ibadan, Dr. Ajisefini highlighted the shortage of medical infrastructure in Nigeria. He urged the government to strengthen primary health care centers with essential equipment and personnel, arguing that this would improve emergency response and save more lives. Dr. Ajisefini also warned that poor working conditions and inadequate facilities are driving medical professionals out of the country. He called for better remuneration and functional ambulances along major highways, citing the recent case involving British-Nigerian boxer Anthony Joshua as evidence of the urgent need for improved emergency medical services. Now in business news, the Minister of State for Industry, Senator John Owan, has urged Nigeria to reduce its dependence on imports and instead harness its large population for local industrial production. He spoke at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Lagos Province 35 Economic Summit on Saturday. Senator Owan said the success of the Nigeria First policy announced by President Bola Tinubu in 2025 depends on predictable policies, coordinated implementation, and the strategic use of public procurement to boost domestic manufacturing. He highlighted sectors such as textiles, automotive, medical equipment, and furniture as key areas for local production. He added that Nigeria's youthful population will only become an economic advantage if industrial capacity expands quickly enough to create jobs. Owan stressed that stable rules and predictable government demand are essential for private investment and long-term industrial growth. And finally, in sports, the football event of the Nigeria Oil and Gas Industry Games 2026 has produced its finalists after a week of competition in Port Harcourt. Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority will contest the gold medal at the national finals in Abuja next month. NLNG reached the final after defeating the Nigerian National Petroleum Company 5-4 on penalties, following a goalless draw in the first semi-final. NMDPRA also advanced on penalties, beating Oando 5-3 after their match ended 1-1 in regulation time. The losing team will face each other in the third-place match during the national finals, which begins on February 8 this year. The local organizing committee says the Port Harcourt preliminaries served as a dress rehearsal ahead of the event in Abuja. And that's all we have for you on Idea TV News Update. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. We brought you news that high-level executive dialogue seeks stronger collaboration in Nigeria's power sector. And Southwest TESCOM chairman proposed regional forum to improve education. Court rule on husband consent for passport renewal. And Ethiopian Airlines orders 9 new Boeing Dreamliners. Ghana's poverty rate falls to 21.9% in third quarter 2025. And away from Africa, women filmed secretly with smart glasses and harassed after videos go viral. In health, IBADAN Hospital CEO urges government to invest in primary healthcare and ambulance services. In business, Nigeria must stop importing what it can produce, says Minister of State for Industry. And in sports, NOGIG 2026 football finals set for February in Abuja. And now, do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Cynthia Bassi. Thank you for watching.